Okay, picture this. You wake up one morning and you start having a completely natural conversation with your phone. But you're not just barking awkward commands at it, right? You're talking to it just like you talk to a friend. You casually ask what to make for breakfast, and it instantly suggests a recipe based exactly on whatever ingredients happen to be sitting in your fridge. Then you ask it to translate a really complicated, dense letter from your bank, and it just does it instantly in plain, easy to understand language. Or maybe you ask it to help draft a resume, and literally within seconds, you've got a polished professional document ready to send off. Well, welcome to this explainer, because today we are going to unpack the incredible technology that's making all of this everyday magic actually possible.
All right, let's just get right into it. Today, we'll be covering what is AI, its journey from sci-fi to reality, and exactly how it works. Then, we'll look at how it's transforming our world, the real risks and challenges involved, and finally, preparing for the future.
Now, you might be thinking this all sounds a bit like a sci-fi movie, but no, this is literally your everyday life. Those examples I just mentioned, the recipes, the instant translations, the resumes, they aren't scenes from some futuristic novel. They are happening right now, right in the palms of our hands. AI is already so deeply woven into our daily routines, which is exactly why we need to firmly establish what this technology actually is.
So, Section 1. What exactly is artificial intelligence? Let's cover the basics. Here is our baseline definition. Basically, artificial intelligence is a machine's ability to perform tasks that would normally require human intelligence. You can think of it as an unbelievably powerful, hyper-fast pattern recognition engine. Say you want it to know the difference between a cat and a dog. You don't sit down and write a complicated rulebook, you just feed it millions of images. Because the fundamental rule of AI is this: the more data it consumes, the smarter its architecture becomes. It's really that simple. Moving right along to Section 2. From sci-fi to reality, a brief history of AI.
Now, what's really interesting here is that the idea of AI, it's actually not new at all. It started way back in the 1950s when British mathematician Alan Turing asked one foundational question: can machines think? And that single question just completely ignited this massive technological pursuit. Through the 60s, 70s, and 80s, scientists built these early programs that could play chess or solve math problems, which was super exciting, but, very limited, unless you happened to be a math problem. But then the internet age arrived, and suddenly we had massive amounts of data. A huge milestone hit in 1997 when IBM's Deep Blue famously defeated the world chess champion Garry Kasparov. But the real acceleration? That happened in the 2010s. We had this neural network revolution, where systems were actually modeled to mimic the human brain. They started achieving superhuman performance in things like speech and image recognition. And that brings us right up to the 2020s, where AI has just totally exploded into the mainstream with accessible tools we all know like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Midjourney.
Okay, Section 3. How AI actually works. Let's unlock the mechanics. Don't worry, you absolutely do not need to be an engineer to understand this. Let's use the apple analogy to demystify it. Imagine teaching a toddler to recognize an apple. You wouldn't hand them a botanical textbook, right? No, you'd show them 1,000 pictures of apples and say, hey, this is an apple. Then you'd show them pictures of oranges and bananas and red pars and say, these are not apples. Eventually, that kid can look at an apple they have never seen before and know exactly what it is. Well, AI works in the exact same way. The only difference is, instead of a human kid, the learner is a really complex mathematical model called a neural network. So how does it pull that off? It's basically a 3-step process. Step 1 is data. AI needs mountains of it: text, images, videos, numbers, you name it. Step 2 is training. The AI studies all that data, finds the underlying patterns, and builds a model. You can think of this phase just like studying for a massive final exam. The more material you study, the better you're going to perform. And finally, step 3 is prediction. Once it's fully trained, it takes everything it learned to make decisions on brand new, unseen data. And that right there is the exact moment it magically recognizes your voice, or forecasts tomorrow's weather, or generates a brand new poem right on command.
Now, it is incredibly crucial to understand that not all AI is created equal. Right now, humanity operates entirely in the realm of narrow AI, which is also called weak AI. This type excels at one highly specific task. So Siri, your Netflix recommendations, Google Maps routing, your email spam filters, those are all narrow AI. They are brilliant at their one job, but they literally cannot do anything else. The next level up is general AI, or strong AI.
This would possess human-level reasoning across any subject, effortlessly switching from writing poetry to solving complex chemistry equations. We definitely do not have this yet. It's strictly theoretical and in development. And finally, there's super AI. This is a theoretical tier that would completely surpass human intelligence in every conceivable way. And honestly, that remains a subject of very intense debate among scientists today. Which brings us to Section 4, transforming our world today. Let's look at AI in action. The way this is impacting basically every sector right now is just staggering. Over in healthcare, AI is detecting cancer in medical scans much earlier than human doctors can, and chatbots are offering scalable mental health support. In education, platforms like Duolingo are using it to personalize lessons, adapting instantly if a student is struggling or excelling. In finance, banks are using AI to catch complex fraud in mere milliseconds. And the arts, tools like Sora and Midjourney are letting anyone generate absolutely stunning paintings and videos with zero technical training. In transportation, self-driving cars from companies like Tesla and Waymo are actively using AI to navigate crazy city traffic. And for our climate, scientists are running these models to predict weather patterns with unprecedented accuracy and monitor global deforestation. It is literally reshaping our physical and digital world. Now, Section 5, real risks and challenges. Here is what we absolutely must be careful about. Okay, we have to keep it real here. As powerful as this technology is, there are very honest, serious challenges we have to address. First up, job displacement. AI is rapidly automating repetitive work like data entry or basic customer service. And while it definitely creates new jobs, it eliminates old ones, and that transition is tough. Second is bias and fairness. AI learns from data created by humans, right? So historical human biases around race or gender can easily be reflected and even amplified in critical areas like hiring or criminal justice. Third, privacy. AI demands vast amounts of data, raising huge questions about who actually owns your information. Fourth, misinformation. The ability of AI to generate indistinguishable deepfakes and fake news is a profound threat to our trust in institutions. And finally, autonomy and control. As we let machines make more and more decisions, the lines of responsibility get really blurry. If an AI makes a critical mistake, who is accountable? The programmer? The company? These are vital questions we're still trying to answer. Section 6, preparing for the future and how to stay ahead. So what can you do? Well, the great news is you do not need a computer science degree to stay ahead of the curve here. The first step is just learning the high-level basics, which, hey, you're doing right now. Next, try boosting your daily productivity by experimenting with everyday tools like Canva AI or Grammarly. Stay curious, Companies like Google and Microsoft offer fantastic online courses, and they are completely free. Also, as you navigate the web, it is more important than ever to think critically and always verify your sources. And lastly, advocate for transparent, ethical AI development in your communities. Because here is the real takeaway. The future is not some sci-fi battle of humans versus AI. The most powerful dynamic going forward is humans plus AI. The individuals, the companies, and the societies that actually learn to collaborate with AI as a tool are going to have a massive defining advantage over those who simply refuse to adapt. And when you look at the next decade of that collaboration, the possibilities are just breathtaking. We are talking about AI doctors helping to develop personalized medicine that could literally cure historical diseases. We're looking at personal AI tutors that could make world-class education accessible to every single student on the globe. We'll see physical tasks become increasingly autonomous, everything from drone deliveries dropping off your packages to robot surgeons performing incredibly delicate microprocedures. And crucially, we'll see governments stepping in to ensure safety. We're already seeing this spearheaded by comprehensive global regulations like the European Union's recent AI Act. So if you take away only one thing from our explainer today, let it be this. AI is a tool, not a threat. Artificial intelligence is neither magic nor a monster. It is a profoundly powerful tool that was built by humans for humans. Its ultimate impact on our society depends entirely on our collective choices and our commitment to lifelong learning. The people who are going to truly thrive in this new era aren't necessarily the ones with the best coding skills. They are the curious ones, the adaptable ones. The AI revolution isn't something approaching in the distant future. It's already right here. So I'll leave you with this final question to think about. Will you be ready? Keep learning, keep